4 matches, 4 draws, not a single win for any major footballing power. June 15th at the 2026. World Cup was unprecedented. A 40-year-old goalkeeper from a tiny island nation blanked the European champions with 7 saves. Lukaku changed a game in 28 seconds without scoring, and a Scottish Premiership forward was the best player on the pitch. If this tournament was meant to follow the script, June 15th just tore it to shreds. Welcome to SoccerVault. Here's everything you missed today. We're breaking down all 4 stunning draws from June 15th, uncovering the talking point nobody wants to say out loud, and telling you exactly which blockbuster matches to set your alarm for tonight. Let's start where the football world started, Atlanta, Georgia, and the result that stopped the planet. Spain, the European champions, one of the pre-tournament favourites, faced Cape Verde in their very first World Cup appearance. The Cape Verde Islands, a nation of fewer than 600,000 people who had never played at a World Cup until this tournament began, and they held Spain scoreless. Spain created 27 shots, 27. But standing between them and the net was Vozinha, Mozambique-born goalkeeper for Cape Verde, who only turned 40 years old weeks before this tournament. He made 7 saves across the 90 minutes, some of them quite literally miraculous. In the 39th minute, Ferran Torres found himself wide open in front of goal. Vozinha threw himself across, Torres struck the crossbar, and Vozinha immediately jumped up and scrambled the ball away. The stadium erupted. Cape Verde became just the 7th team in World Cup history to avoid defeat on their debut. That is historic. Spain's manager has some very uncomfortable conversations ahead, from Atlanta to wherever Belgium played, and another giant on the ropes. Egypt midfielder Imam Ashour, a name very few people outside Cairo knew before today, fired a stunning first-time finish past Thibaut Courtois in the 19th minute. The ball went straight through Thomas Meunier's legs and into the bottom corner. Egypt, in just their second World Cup appearance, were leading Belgium with 40 minutes to go. And then Romelu Lukaku arrived, off the bench, 66th minute, and within 28 seconds of his boots touching the pitch, Belgium had equalised. Lukaku's presence in the box alone forced Mohamed Hani into an own goal. Lukaku did not score, but he did not need to. That is the difference a generational striker makes just by existing in a penalty area. Egypt will feel they deserved all 3 points. They were the better side for most of that match. Over in Miami, Saudi Arabia met Uruguay in what looked on paper like a straightforward win for Bielsa's South Americans. It was anything but. Abdullah Al-Amri opened the scoring for the Saudis in the first half, tapping home a rebound after Muslera fumbled a header from Mohamed Kano. Simple finish. Clinical. Uruguay had 60% possession in the opening 35 minutes and 0 goals to show for it. Al-Owais in the Saudi goal was immense. 9 saves across the whole match. 9! Uruguay kept building, kept pushing, and finally, in the 80th minute, Maxi Araujo pounced on a saved Saudi header and levelled for La Celeste. 2 goals from 2 rebounds, no clean passing moves, no sustained pressure resulting in a composed finish. Bielsa will feel this was 2 points dropped. Uruguay have the talent to challenge any team in this tournament, but they must be more clinical. And then, to cap the day, the most purely entertaining match of World Cup 2026 so far. Iran against New Zealand at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. 4 goals, constant momentum swings, and a story nobody in their wildest dreams predicted. Elijah Just, 26 years old, plays for Motherwell in the Scottish Premiership, scored twice. Both assists from Chris Wood. Just ran the Iranian defence ragged for 90 minutes, finishing with clinical composure that most international strikers would be proud of, but Iran matched them. Ramin Rezaian scored in the first half and, in the second, whipped in a perfect cross for Mohammad Mohebi to head home and make it 2-2. Rezaian became the first Iranian player to score an assist in a single World Cup game. 2-2, final. Both teams deserved more. But if the rest of this tournament produces football like this, we are in for an all-time World Cup. Here is what nobody in the main broadcast booths is saying out loud today, and SoccerVault is going to say it right here. The established football powers are panicking inside their changing rooms right now. Spain had 27 shots and 0 goals. Belgium nearly lost to Egypt. Saudi Arabia held Uruguay with 9 saves. Not a single so-called major nation won a match on June 15th. Not one. We spent years debating whether expanding to 48 teams would dilute the competition, whether the gap between the big nations and the smaller ones would produce boring, one-sided football that embarrassed everyone. Well, here is your answer. Cape Verde are at their first World Cup, and they just blanked the European champions. Iran are trading goals with New Zealand in a 4-goal thriller. Egypt are leading Belgium for 40 minutes. This is not dilution. This is democracy in football. The old hierarchy is crumbling in real time, and I am here for every single second of it. Right? Here is what you absolutely cannot miss in the next 24 hours. First up, France versus Senegal. Kick-off at 3 in the morning SGT. France are among the pre-tournament favourites, and this is their opening match of the competition. After watching Spain's horror show today, every major nation in this tournament will be approaching their opener with extreme caution. Senegal are no pushovers. Athletic, organised, with Sadio Mane and Ismaïla Sarr capable of hurting any defence on the planet. This will be tight. My bold prediction, France win, but Senegal score first. France 2-1 Senegal. Watch for France's fullbacks. They will need to be disciplined against Senegal's quick transitions on the counter. At 6 in the morning SGT, Iraq face Norway. And this is the one I am circling on the calendar because Erling Haaland is coming into this tournament with something to prove. Norway have never appeared at a World Cup with Haaland in the squad. This is his moment. Iraq are organised and physical in defence, but Haaland on form is virtually unstoppable. Norway 3-0 Iraq. And do not be shocked if Haaland ends the day as the tournament's top scorer. And then, at 9 in the morning SGT, Argentina versus Algeria. The world champions. Lionel Messi. Algeria are motivated, physical, and deeply organised. But when Argentina are firing, they are the best team in this competition. Argentina 2-0 Algeria. Watch Enzo Fernandez control the midfield. If he runs the show, this match is over before the hour mark. So there you have it. June 15th at World Cup 2026. Delivered 4 draws, a 40-year-old legend making 7 saves against Spain, Lukaku off the bench, changing a game in under 30 seconds, and a Motherwell striker outshining every marquee player on the pitch. 5 days in, and this is already the greatest World Cup in history. Smash that like, subscribe to SoccerVault, and drop it in the comments. Which match are you most excited about tonight?